In 1861, the United States was torn apart by a conflict that would become the deadliest war in American history. The nation was deeply divided over slavery, states' rights, and the future of the country. 11 Southern states left the Union and formed the Confederate States of America. The remaining states stayed loyal to the Union. On April 12, 1861, Confederate forces fired on Fort Sumter in South Carolina. The American Civil War had begun. At first, many believed the war would end quickly. They were wrong. Massive armies clashed across fields, forests, and towns. New technologies such as railroads, telegraphs, and ironclad warships changed the nature of warfare forever. One of the bloodiest battles took place at Gettysburg in July 1863. For 3 days, more than 160,000 soldiers fought in a brutal struggle that left over 50,000 dead, wounded, or missing. The Union victory at Gettysburg became a turning point in the war. Meanwhile, President Abraham Lincoln saw the conflict as more than a fight to preserve the Union. In 1863, he issued the Emancipation Proclamation, declaring that enslaved people in Confederate territories were to be freed. The war continued with devastating intensity. Union General Ulysses S. Grant launched relentless campaigns against Confederate forces, while General Robert E. Lee led some of the most famous military operations in American history. In 1864, Union General William Tecumseh Sherman carried out his famous March to the Sea, destroying military and industrial resources across the South. By early 1865, the Confederacy was collapsing. On April 9, 1865, Robert E. Lee surrendered to Ulysses S. Grant at Appomattox Courthouse. Surrender. After 4 years of war, the conflict was finally over. The cost was staggering. More than 620,000 soldiers lost their lives, making it the deadliest conflict in American history. Entire towns were devastated, families were torn apart, and the nation faced the enormous challenge of rebuilding. Just days after the war ended, tragedy struck again. On April 14, 1865, President Abraham Lincoln was assassinated while attending a play in Washington, D.C. Despite the immense suffering, the Civil War transformed the United States forever. Slavery was abolished through the 13th Amendment. The Union was preserved, and the nation began a difficult journey toward becoming a more unified country. More than 150 years later, the American Civil War remains one of the most significant events in world history, a conflict that reshaped America and changed the course of the modern world forever.